Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the latest episode of the Chinlock, DigitalDailyFix.com's weekly episodic wrestling podcast here on Spreaker.com. I am your dying host, Smitty. Mixmaster, Raspy Smitty. Raspy B. There we go. All right.
You have to shorten some things.
There we go.
I'm going to call you RB.
You fixed it. All right, that's fine. I'm RB. Or RB.
Now he's just R.
Bring me a roast beef sandwich.
Oh, God, no. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is the Chinlock. We are here after a wild and interesting divisional weekend for the NFL. We're here to talk wrestling. Joined every week, as always, by Helmick, Tim, and Howard.
Like a bunch of quiz.
Yes. Tonight is the TNA...
And me.
Huh?
And me.
Yeah, there you go. Tonight is the TNA Genesis pay-per-view. In most nights when a pay-per-view is happening, we will just use our show as a pay-per-view special. But due to this being our first normal episode of 2013 after our best of last week, we are just going to do a normal show, but we will at least have predictions for the matches for TNA. So we can either do that at the end, or if you want, we can turn the TNA section into Genesis predictions and other stuff.
That's fine. I have to explain where what's happening anyway.
Okay.
Otherwise, people will be lost.
Okay. All right. Well, we can do that then. So we got that. We got a lot to talk about for WWE, as they have done quite a few interesting things in their first two shows of 2013. But before we get to any of that, we have to kick off our show like we do any other normal show.
We have news!
I don't remember ever having news.
It's been a while. It'll slowly sink back in.
What's the show about again?
XCOM.
Oh, well, that's good. I could talk about that for a while.
Yeah.
Right. Aliens are attacking Brazil. News at 11.
Oh, and Germany and India all at the same time, and you can only.
I picked Germany.
You can only save one. The other two are fucked. Who gave that black man a laser shotgun? Anyway, what do you got, Tim?
Well, a lot of news, so we got to get right to it. For those who care, especially Helmick, the Pope has decided not to return to TNA as his contract had expired on the 1st of the month.
Good for him.
Time for that big money WWE return feud with CM Punk that everybody's been wanting to see.
Or more Hollywood extras.
Hey,
like in Dark Knight Rises.
More people have wanted to see that. I don't really care.
No one's wanted to see that. It was more on a reference of CM Punk calling the Pope one of the worst wrestlers he's ever been in the ring with.
Well, he probably is.
It was funny.
Yeah, I remember reading that interview.
Yeah, I remember watching it. It was an audio interview. It was hilarious. But I mean, I don't know where else he would go. I mean, I don't think he's going back to WWE. I guess he would.
Hollywood. Hollywood. Going to be an extra.
You think he's just going to be an extra?
Because he was in the Dark Knight Rises. He was one of the. He was part of the mob scene.
I think there's also a good chance he could go wrestle in Japan.
Yeah, I could see that more than an E return. I don't think the E would be interested.
Yeah, I think if he were to go to Japan and maybe work on some stuff and build up a name there, then he could come back for WWE.
He will have adapted the Japanese culture, and he'll be Tensai.
I believe meeting Pope's Eye.
No. They'll just bury the original Tensai and bring him in with Sakamoto and everything.
Ooh, Sakamoto. I'm liking this.
Yeah, see, I knew you'd like that.
Well, he won't come back before MVP Oru.
See, I would much rather have MVP back.
Oh, so would I. MVP, I actually liked MVP.
Yeah, I had no problem with him.
So I hope he does come back.
All right. For those who really care, though, El Generico has apparently signed a deal with WWE as he finished up his last Pro Wrestling Guerrilla show, and he canceled a show with with the Hart Family Wrestling thing, whatever. So he's expected to be working with WWE soon, real soon.
I'm curious to see what would happen with him if is anybody aware if he's ever wrestled a previous gimmick without his mask?
Not that I'm aware of. Not
I'm just really hoping for that big Mexicools return.
Yeah.
Well, they need a Latino star, and El Generico's the best one out there.
Yeah, Olay.
So
Yeah, I will be curious to see what type of gimmick they give to him.
do you think they give?
Call him Fandango.
God damn it! Do you think they bring him in with the mask?
I don't think
Yes.
so. Oh, really? You do?
Yes.
Why is that?
I think with the past experience of all now bringing in all these independent wrestlers, people who know them, and they're still using most of their former identities. They're slowly bringing in the Shield now, and people know who they are with their NXT name. So I don't think they'll take his mask off, especially since he appeals to children mostly. He'll appeal mostly to children.
We'll call him Sin Cara.
I don't know. If they brought him in and they made it work, I have no problem with it. I don't see WWE thinking of a good way to use his mask and not.
The problem with that is he will very quickly be delegated to Santino Marella status with that.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, and he's a good wrestler, so that's why
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. But at the same time, I don't know what he looks like under the mask to know if he has a marketable look.
He looks like Sheamus.
Does he really? Or are you just
Yes.
guessing? Or you're just guessing because he has orange hair, like an orange goatee, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know. I've seen him in the ring. I like El Generico, and I hope they do something that works. I just don't know what it would be right now. If they bring him in and they just make him El Generico, and he comes in with his Olay shit and he gets the chants going and everything. Because I could see maybe somebody like Punk saying like, you got to keep him El Generico, like you have to keep him that way. So, what is this? Is this photographic evidence? Oh my God, it is. Let's see what this guy looks like.
He looks very generic.
Oh wow. All right.
He reminds me a little bit of Scotty Goldman.
Okay, so I guess he's done something unmasked to be that way. So I guess it's possible. I think if they could make it work, it would be cool if they kept him with a mask. I think it'd be cool if they just kept him El Generico. If someone pushed and said, "Look, this is what this guy got over with. Use him that way." And I think he could get over as I don't think he'd be quite Santino because he's got way more wrestling skills.
Oh yeah, no. I don't think it would be that bad, but it would be in a similar vein.
Well, Ring of Honor has found a way to make him legitimate and have people take him seriously. And if an indie league like that can do it, I think WWE has to have a way to do it.
No, it's Vince McMahon though.
It depends though. It depends if when he comes in, is he going to be a project of some schmuck writer, or is Triple H going to look at him and go, "I like this guy. I'm going to make him work."
Yeah, well, it'll work because it does work.
Yeah, that's probably your best hope, though.
What if Triple H takes him under his wing?
Yeah.
Yeah. If Triple H takes a liking to him, and he's now going to be in an NXT where Billy Gunn is running, training ahead of,
he is the head now because Bill DeMont go bye-bye.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was a news story or not. That's why I hesitated.
It is now.
Okay. All right, well, I guess that bounces right into the next news story that they're making changes to development. They're moving it to Orlando.
And that building's almost done.
Yeah, the building's almost done. They have 5 wrestling rings, hoping that with the increase, with the bigger building and the more rings, that it gets more people in-ring development time. and that maybe they can just improve the overall quality of the talent by having more training, which I like. I like that idea, and I like the idea of Billy Gunn being down there. I think he has a decent head for it. I'd say out of the Click DX members, whatever you want to call them, I think him or Road Dogg would have been the best choices. So I got no problem with that, and hopefully that produces some pretty solid talent going forward, and hopefully they do something to make Generico worthwhile. But first and foremost, I just want to see Cassius Ohno on TV. So, hey, that's what I want. They got all these other guys to work. I would love to see Cassius Ohno, whether it's a member of the Shield or just bring him in, change his elbow a little bit, and have him feud with Wade Barrett. Just Battle of the Brawlers. I think that'd be kind of cool.
I think that would be really interesting. But do you think they would bring him in as a babyface?
They possibly could. I mean, I don't know what... I'm trying to think like what they need more right now. If they need heels or they need faces. I mean, I know they turned a lot of big heels face, and I know Orton's probably going heel. So your two biggest heels will probably be Orton and Punk. Mid-card heel, Damian Sandow, Cody Rhodes, Wade Barrett, Antonio Cesaro. Faces or Kane, Daniel Bryan. Oh yeah, Big Show's a main event heel. Your faces are now Cena, well, always Cena. Daniel Bryan, Kane, Alberto Del Rio. Miz, I'd probably say, is mid-card to upper mid-card at the moment. I guess currently Randy Orton's still technically a face, but it sounds like they're turning him heel. You got Sheamus. So it sounds like they could do with another face, maybe, more than a heel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if he works as a face.
Well, I mean, I know all the new guys they've been bringing up. They've been bringing all them up as heels.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would like to see them bring somebody up as a face for a change, but
yeah, it's just, does he work as a face?
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not so sure.
I've only ever seen him as a heel, and he's a heel in NXT right now. So at least I think he is.
Yeah.
So interesting. What we got next?
Let's see. There are plans for possibly both Bret Hart and The Undertaker appearing at tomorrow night's 20th anniversary show. The concerns involving Bret Hart would be if he was brought in, Bret Hart would want to be involved in some substantial storyline or something for the show. And Undertaker actually makes sense considering they're in Houston and it's actually close for The Undertaker and he doesn't have to travel far to go to the show.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what they would involve Bret Hart in major. Like if they want to appease him and bring him in.
I don't know. He's done something with Punk already, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's already done like a few things with Punk, and the big focus for this show supposedly is bringing Flair in for Punk. So I don't know if it would work having him and Hart, since I don't think they're really big fans of each other.
Yeah, I mean, with it being the 20th anniversary, I can see them wanting to bring in somebody like Bret Hart. I just don't know exactly what you would do with him besides have him, come out for like a segment to, put over the show or put over the fans, and I don't know if you would want to travel all that way just for that.
Maybe use him as a way to give a rub to Del Rio, push him with
Antonio Cesaro. Just saying.
Why Cesaro?
I don't know. It's the first thing I thought of before you said Del Rio.
No, I got you. I was
thinking along the same lines.
Yeah, I mean, I think either one of them could use the rub. I think actually Del Rio could use it right now a little bit more because he just turned face, and then after SmackDown this week, I think some markets aren't going to necessarily, take to him in his new role.
Yeah, the one thing I am happy about as far as his face turn is I am happy about the reaction he got at the close of SmackDown.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, so I mean, at least in one city, he's getting receptive. So I appreciate that. But maybe Del Rio giving him a rub, maybe have some sort of tag match, or I mean, if Hart wants to get in the ring, give him the tag match, let him get the hot tag, the his few signature moves and a sharpshooter, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So Ricky Steamboat's son, Richie Steamboat, is supposedly going to be the next NXT star to be brought up to the main roster. The main question is whether or not they want to change his name. Here's the answer: no.
Yeah, I agree.
No. I think that's what killed Michael McGillicuddy.
But he was the master of the McGillicuddy.
And the backwards hat.
The best gimmick McGillicuddy had, the backwards hat gimmick.
I don't know. I mean, I think you've seen examples of where it's worked and where it hasn't. I mean, you've seen something like Ted Theodore DiBiase where it ended up not working, and then something like Randy Orton where they played off the family name and it's been great for him. So I think you can really go one way or the other with it. I think it really all depends on how they're going to plan on booking him when they bring him up.
Yeah, I mean, I would say out of the young guys they brought up in the past couple of years and how they haven't, most of them haven't used the name. I think we're due for somebody to bring in their family heritage. Bring him in, and if his ring work is even half as good as his father's, he'll have no problem getting over. I think also it makes a little more sense to have him use his father's name, since it seems like at least last week and maybe this coming week, Steamboat is going to be on TV, and a name that's going to be said a couple times by broadcasters and wrestlers alike.
Yep. Cannot argue with that.
Yeah.
All right. WrestleMania 29, the rumored top 4 matches are as follows: Randy Orton versus Sheamus for the world title, CM Punk versus The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar versus Triple H 2, and The Rock versus John Cena for the WWE title.
I want to know where Ziggler fits in all this.
Right?
Pre-show.
Yeah, that's about right.
Here's what I say. They're not, because the more I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've been trying to think of a way to get Rock and Cena away from each other and give Rock another opponent. The only other thing is I'm completely stuck as to who you give The Rock, because you can't just give The Rock anybody. You have to give The Rock somebody that you can convince him is a worthwhile matchup.
Brock Lesnar.
See, Brock Lesnar is an option, but you have a situation where with Rock, you don't know when you'll get to use him again yet. And Lesnar, you have no idea if he's going to re-sign. So you have a thing where Rock wins, keeps the belt, and then either he drops it on Raw, he forfeits, or nobody knows what happens, or Brock Lesnar wins and then he doesn't re-sign, and you have no champion. Even though that's the match I would want to see. It's a match I've wanted to see for a while. I figured that'd be a nice rematch. They've only wrestled once.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who you could pair The Rock with, and I pretty much think you have to go that route. I mean, I think you have to go. I mean, I would rather see, Ziggler and Sheamus in a WrestleMania spot, but I mean, I really think those other matches, I mean, they may not be the most exciting, they may be repeat matches, but they make the most sense.
Yeah. Here's what I mean, I don't know. Howard, can you think of anybody that would be better suited as an opponent for The Rock?
Undertaker.
So you think Rock versus Taker?
Yeah. I would say that works because that's a way give Undertaker the win, and then Rock goes away.
So
No loose ends.
So, and what happens?
Taker wins the belt.
Okay, that's what I was getting ready to ask.
And either lets it go. I'd like to see that, wins that, forfeits it, and then you have a tournament. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, me personally,
that's not going to happen, but
Winner
I
to
just
break
think
Holly.
Rock versus Taker makes sense.
it'd be cool. I think at the end of the day, whenever they find out Mania is Taker's last Mania, whatever one it is, whether it's 29 or 30, I have a feeling he's calling it after 30. I don't know. I just feel like he would want to be he would want his last match to be at a milestone Mania, and since you're 1 year away, I think like 30 would be it. But if I do feel like if he's going to retire, then his last match should be what Howard said. Make it for the belt, have him win, have him go out as champ, retire, and then you can use that to crown a new champ whenever you want, really. But use it as a young guy. I don't know. For me, I feel you have. Like I'm with Helmick. I think because of the situation everybody's in, you unfortunately have to keep it Rock and Cena. And then I think if you can convince Brock Lesnar to sign another contract, and Rock has the availability, have The Rock wrestle at SummerSlam against Brock Lesnar. Even though I know that's when they wrestled the first time. I believe, if I remember correctly, SummerSlam's the only big pay-per-view that Rock hasn't wrestled at since his return. Like, once the Rumble comes around, he'll have done Rumble, Mania, and Survivor Series. That leaves SummerSlam, and if you can do Brock versus Rock 2, I think that works as a big seller. But as far as Mania, I think you got to keep it as Cena. But me personally, I think you take Triple H out of the equation entirely, because I just think that match is a waste of the use of Brock Lesnar. You sign this guy, you only got him for a few appearances, you got him mainly to use him for a Mania match, and you want to use it for a fucking rematch. Stupid. Make it Punk versus Brock, and then make Ziggler be the opponent for The Undertaker.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too.
That way you get Ziggler versus Taker, Brock versus CM Punk. You can keep Sheamus and Orton, because even though Randy is currently Blandy, I think he needs the heel turn, and plus the wrestling quality of that match will be on par. And the Punk and Brock match is easy to write, because it's just, hey, Heyman, you can have it just like Heyman has completely ditched and abandoned Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar just comes out and is like, well, you want to abandon me for this shit? He's like, I walked away from wrestling, you're supposed to be, my guy, we're supposed to go on to other things together, yet you can't leave this place, and you've attached to this punk. Just come out and take him out. That'll turn him face. I think face Lesnar will earn more money than heel Lesnar as far as people buying the pay-per-view. You got Rock for the belt, and then, yeah. And if Triple H wants to wrestle, he can go wrestle the pre-show.
He can wrestle Puppet H.
There you go. Triple H versus Puppet H. Battle of the H's.
Backstage segment.
Backstage. It's a boiler room brawl.
Oh, the Boiler Room Brawl.
That match was all right.
Yeah, actually, the match was okay. It was funny because some of the editing in that match, like looking back at it, doesn't make a lot of sense.
Oh,
but,
no, not at all.
But it was entertaining for the time.
Yeah. That's what I feel. I mean, I also think that, these are the rumored matches that WrestleZone is basically saying, we have the exclusive report of knowing this shit. And a lot of WrestleZone's exclusives recently have been bullshit. I kind of hope this one is too, but our luck, it probably won't be.
Probably not. So let's talk about some TNA. TNA is about a few months ago. I said there was a report that came out that they cut down the pay-per-views from 12 to 7, 12 to 9. Now they've cut it down even more from 9 to just 4 for 4 major pay-per-view events for the year.
Good job, Dixie.
With tonight's Genesis, then you have Lockdown, then you'll have Slammiversary, and then Bound for Glory. And so to kind of make up for doing that cut, they decided to have 7 special pay-per-views on Fridays, in between some of the major pay-per-views. And it'll be like, special type of pay-per-views. Like, one of them will be a tag team pay-per-view, and another one will be for the X Division. By the way, both of those pay-per-views have already been taped. So, and the interesting part is those pay-per-views will cost you a mere $15 on Friday nights.
That was the one thing I was waiting to find out. I didn't know what the price was yet.
$15.
I'm all right with that.
And I haven't seen the spoiler for the tag team one. I kind of want to watch that one.
The way I look at it, obviously you're not getting people to buy the pay-per-views at $30 or $40, whatever they are. So, I think to throw something out there where it's where it's a cheap pay-per-view, you get a little bit of time to plug it. I think that's a pretty good idea. They've certainly done worse things.
Oh, damn it! I'm gonna have to buy the Extravaganza pay-per-view now. Fucking Petey Williams is on there.
Yeah.
Wow, this whole card sounds really good.
I like, the tag team Wild is one of the teams have me want to watch it though.
I haven't found the link to that yet, but I'm looking at. You got an escape match between Christian York, Matt Bentley, Alex Silva, Sam Shaw, Lince Dorado, Puma, and Jimmy Rave. You have Douglas William and Kid Cash versus Tony Nese and Rashad Cameron. Or Rasad, whatever. Chavo Guerrero versus Robbie E. God damn it. Get him out of the X Division. Though Chavo is...
Yeah, Chavo Guerrero needs to get out of the X Division.
Chavo does...
What's he doing?
So does Robbie E, man. Robbie E should be wrestling heavyweights. But at least that actually... Those two, their styles should work better than putting Robbie E in an Ultimate X match. And special guest referee is Joseph Park. Ultimate X match, Kenny King versus Zima Ion versus Rubix versus Mason Andrews. Caziels versus Sanjay Dutt and Petey Williams. Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn in Jerry Lynn's last TNA match. And Austin Aries versus Samoa Joe. Ain't not bad.
And
No, that could end up being their best show of the year.
And here's their tag team, the Joker's Wild Tag Team Tournament, or Gauntlet, whatever they want to call it. You got James Storm and Christian York versus Crimson and Gunna.
Shit, Crimson's back.
You got Jesse Goddard and Ken Anderson versus Doug Williams and Kid Cash. You got Christopher Daniels and Samoan Joe versus Chavo Guerrero and Bob Van Tam.
So the theme of this pay-per-view must be random pairings, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I was like Daniels is pairing with somebody else. What the fuck?
It's like the lethal lottery, I guess.
I'm okay with that. That's interesting.
The best tag team together, Bobby Roode and Joseph Park.
What?
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's the seller for me. Versus Robbie E and Zima Ion.
Okay.
Now the only team that shouldn't be together, Devon and Doc versus Hernandez and Alex Silva. And I mean Hernandez and Alex Silva. I mean, come on.
Poor Hernandez. What did he do to deserve that?
Rob Big Freak Skittles Terry and Matt Morgan versus Joey Ryan and Al Snow.
That's interesting. The Joey Ryan one. But apparently Matt Morgan can only be teamed with other big people.
And Joey Ryan.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Joey Ryan. I keep forgetting they're together. That's interesting. See, I like the idea about it, and I like the affordability of it. $15 can definitely be something where it's like, if the card sounds good, it will convince people to buy it. But recording those pay-per-views already, and those pay-per-views, are those the pay-per-views for like February and March or something?
I believe the X Division one's going to be in April. And the tag team one is in May.
April and May? Recorded in... Why?
Yeah, no. It scratched my head, too.
Record them the night that you do... Like, are Impacts live until further notice?
As far as I know.
So record them right after you're done or before a live Impact and just advertise it as, hey, everybody, you're getting like 5 hours of awesome wrestling.
Well, I don't know. See, the one problem that you have with that, though, is you end up burning out your crowd. Because we've seen that before when they would tape like 2 Impacts together. And like the first episode that they would air, the crowd would be really hot, and then the next week they'd be really dead just because they were so wiped out.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't think you need to tape them 3 months in advance or 4 months in advance. But
I mean, I guess they're thinking if we tape them so far in advance, people will forget by the time the pay-per-view comes around.
maybe.
Like people go, oh, hey, Deuce's Wild Tag Team, let's watch this. And then as they start watching, fuck, this was recorded. I read these results. Son of a damn UTNA. You know.
Also, I hope Bobby Roode and Joseph Park continue toward further as a tag team after that show.
Yeah.
That could be a funny pairing.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, are these pay-per-views something that they're going to build angles towards and then say, oh, you're going to have to see the match by paying for the pay-per-view? Or is it just like random pay-per-views?
We'll see. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I see the tag team one getting no build-up on live TV. I just hope that in the future, though, they build them up. And I think it'd be... actually, did I read that right? Was there no X Division title match in that?
I don't know.
Yeah, because what? RVD's still the X Division champ right now, right?
Today. Tomorrow. I don't know. But, that pay-per-view did not have an X Division title in there. Otherwise, you'll know who'd be X Division champion by then.
That is true. You know, that makes sense. It'd just be nice, like, if they put, like, a title match on there. I mean, I know it's a recorded one, so they don't do it. But, I mean, like, maybe for extra incentive, do one where it's, like, one of them has, like, a title match. Just one. Not all of them. Or maybe if you do, like, you want to do Night of Champions, do one where all of them has all the belts on the line, but record it, like, a week before or something. I don't know. It's early. I mean, but I'm glad that they're switching the big pay-per-views. I'm glad they're only doing 4. I think that may improve. I hope that'll improve buy rates. At first, when I read that they were adding these recorded ones, I was like, "What the fuck?" But then, now that it's $15 and everything, actually, you know, more power to them. Go ahead and do it. Ain't that right, Howard?
I don't care about Impact.
You know what? I like it. I like the honesty. I can't hate that.
I'm gonna let you finish. Nah, never mind. No. Howard Hip does not care about Impact people.
Well, I don't care about you.
I still care about you, Howard.
Thanks, Helmick.
You got it.
And Tim, we're not hanging out right now, so screw you.
They don't get that joke.
Brian does.
Of what
you do.
I was
and I do.
I was meaning about the 5 people who actually listen to the show.
Matt does.
I don't think he does.
Wait, you do know we get about 50 down. I mean, I know it's not a lot, but we get about 50 downloads a week, and that's actually unique, different
And
people.
you know what? The world could be a little more mysterious.
Different IP. I'm just saying, it's like you say 5 when we actually.
I didn't say that.
I didn't know what the number was.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't say that. I didn't say that, Brian.
No, I know you didn't. That guy.
Yeah, blame him.
Now, let me tell you something. If it was 5 every goddamn week, I would shut this down and cancel the goddamn account. I'm not paying $20 a month for 5 fucking people. Yeah, I put it all out there. Whatever.
We love you.
Yeah, but because it's 50 of you, and you're worth the effort, we're still here.
We need 51.
We need 51.
All right. So anyway, back to news. I still have 2 more. Mick Foley is apparently in the Hall, but then he rebuked it, and then WWE.com made it official. So apparently Mick Foley is going to be in the Hall of Fame because New York Post put it out there.
That's what we've been expecting.
It makes sense.
All right. Well, here's the interesting one. Apparently, the idea of putting Bam Bam Bigelow in the Hall of Fame is put up there because, Bigelow was from New Jersey and participated in several WrestleManias that took place either in Atlantic City or at MSG. And, of course, his big main event match against Lawrence Taylor at WrestleMania 11. And apparently, McMahon is fairly high on the idea.
I like it.
Well deserved.
He's one of the best big men there ever were, so why not?
300 pounds is a cartwheel.
And he
Only
had
if
awesome scalp
they
tattoo.
show the footage from WrestleMania, the arcade game, where you can jump through the ring and burn it.
Or they show the footage of him and Luna Vachon versus the Doink.
No.
No, I was always a big fan of Bam Bam Bigelow. I mean, I would really like to see him, get his due, and it's just a shame that he won't be around to see it.
Yeah, that is the unfortunate part. But I mean, the guy deserves it, whether he was alive or not. The guy deserves it. So, I also saw some rumor or something that Bundy might be inducted as well. So
Cool.
King Kong Bundy, I'm okay with that.
I love King Kong Bundy.
Yeah, let him do it, as long as he yells 5 sometime during the speech.
And is allowed to do his own stand-up.
Let him do his own stand-up. That's fine. I'm alright with that. So, what else we got?
That's it for news!
Alright then.
Finally.
Alright then. So, let's go into Raw. Noises. Not the noises. So, let's go into Raw then. First Raw of 2013.
Wasn't terrible.
No, it was not. And it is centering around the return of one Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, as well as some other feuds advancing, like a tag team title feud between Rhodes Scholars and Team Hell No, Ziggler and Cena continuing their feud, a feud starting between Cesaro and The Miz, and some other things. So, you know what? Let's start with you, Howard, sir. Give us something from Raw
That I didn't like.
if you want to start with something you didn't like, that's fine. I would say
I
that
kind of wish, and this isn't necessarily from Raw, but kind of what's been happening lately. I kind of understand why it needs to happen, but I kind of wish that Daniel Bryan didn't always take the pin. That bothers me.
Okay.
Something that I did like, the effective use of 3MB.
I did enjoy their use throughout the night.
I used them multiple times throughout the night, and I was a fan.
I was hoping for a third match, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
One other thing that I did like, Ricky Steamboat and Wade Barrett's little exchange, that little backstage segment. I like that.
I almost feel like Ricky Steamboat is wrestling Wade Barrett tomorrow.
That's what I think, and that's what I would. I mean, it's going to be the 20th anniversary of Raw, so they want to bring back some people, and that would be a good short little match, I think.
And then
Doesn't have to make it a 5-star, classic or anything, but
hey,
I think they'll have a match in some capacity, whether it's someone representing Steamboat, maybe his son.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
yeah, I would like to see. Me personally, given the last time we saw Steamboat in the ring and how he was still good, which is fucking wild. I would like to see that. I would like to see him in the ring, and then maybe, like, if Barrett were to attack him after the bell or something, have his son come out and make the save, and then go, "Oh my God, that's Ricky Steamboat's son," and then he can have a short feud with Barrett where Barrett will win. I'm sorry, because I don't see them bringing in Steamboat and instantly winning the Intercontinental title.
Or maybe he will.
Maybe he will. But I liked it. I would like that. I just enjoyed the interaction as a whole. Helmet.
Another thing I didn't like.
Oh, go ahead. Something else you didn't like.
Cookie Puss. It felt out of place. It felt forced. Wasn't a fan.
I'm
And
sure
we could talk
more-
about the main event spot later, but that specific little thing I wasn't a huge fan of.
Okay. Yeah,
'Cause I'm sure everybody has an opinion on that.
Yeah, there are things that I want to share as far as that goes, but I'll save it for the main event. So, when we get to it, Tim, give us some things you like, some things you didn't like.
Antonio Cesaro lifting the Great Khali for the Gotch neutralizer.
Oh,
Yes.
you took mine.
I didn't take yours. We all were going to say it, so I just said it.
Yeah, that was.
We watched that multiple times.
Yeah, we rewound that and watched that. That was fantastic because I didn't think he was going to do it,
And then he did it.
and then he did it.
And the crowd loved it.
Yeah, well,
It was
at this
wonderful.
point, I mean, if he keeps this up, he's going to end up turning himself face just by
That's what I hope happens.
crazy in-ring work.
Yeah, and hey, he actually got a reaction from Tampa.
I know. They don't react to anything.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're not going to react to me, are you?"
I'm glad that's the first thing I said when I saw when the show came. I was like, "Oh fuck, they're in Tampa."
Yeah, and you know what? Tampa wasn't awful this time, but they were by no means a great crowd.
Yeah, no, they rarely are. That's the best I've seen them in a long time now.
Yeah, they showed a pulse. That's what they did.
Yeah.
So good for them.
I enjoyed Paul Heyman telling Brad Maddox to fuck off.
If only that would really get rid of Brad Maddox.
Yeah, if only that would.
Maddox.
God,
Crispin.
Stevie Richards.
I'll show you. You'll see.
Jump, jump, jump.
I remember when after he had that neck issue and he came back and they were like, "Oh yeah, cool. Look, Stevie Richards is back." Fired.
As far as
Or he
what I,
left or whatever.
as far as what I didn't like, just putting Kofi Kingston versus Big Show on there forcefully, because from the reports that match was going to be on the show regularly, but they had been watching the BCS title game and they wanted the TLC match to happen. I guess at halftime, but shit happened, so they put on the TLC match earlier in the show. So Kofi Kingston and Big Show just ended up being, Kofi Kingston jumps on the show and Show punches him in the face. End of match.
Yeah.
Get your paycheck at the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something you really could have pulled from the show. 'Cause, I mean, it didn't really fill any time.
Yeah, I mean,
It didn't help anybody at all.
yeah.
If anything, it really hurted Kofi Kingston the most.
Yeah.
I have a... Yeah, I mean, I don't enjoy that. I'm not really excited for a Miz Antonio Cesaro feud.
Yeah, I just think it could be one of those types of things where the crowd ends up turning and starts. I can see them like start to cheer Cesaro
Yeah, because
in that feud.
I know they want to make Miz's face turn work, and I want to see them make that work. I don't feel that Cesaro, someone who isn't super over as a heel and in certain areas gets cheered for his work ethic, I don't know if that's the guy to do it with. Why not Barrett? Barrett's a full-on heel. I think Barrett would make sense.
Yeah, I think Barrett would make a lot more sense.
Trying to think. Well, there was another thing that I was sitting here that I was conflicted whether I didn't know if I liked it or not. I can't remember what it is now. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go through the highlights.
Well, one thing that I'm not a fan of is them still continuing the John Cena Dolph Ziggler feud. I mean, like, okay, so like, Ziggler, I guess, stole his girlfriend, and he won the Money in the Bank title shot TLC match. Like, there's no reason for Ziggler to still like even mess with Cena.
Yeah, and make sure not to give Rye Black a mic until they're confident he can talk.
Yeah,
I was kind of expecting.
That
Or
was,
show any basis of emotion.
and he cut a better promo on Twitter than he did on Raw. That's fucking horrible. That is awful. Oh yeah, I'm conflicted about the end of the CM Punk Ryback TLC match.
How so?
Well, the right guy won, first of all. Let me just get that out of the way. CM Punk won. It's the right guy. And I'm conflicted because lights go out. It's the Shield. And at that point, the Shield had no presence on Raw, so I know they needed a presence. They're a hot group. You need to keep them on there. But part of me wanted, for the first Raw of 2013 and all these reports of that they're going to do some wild and crazy shit, I was kind of hoping it was somebody else. I was kind of hoping that maybe it was Brock Lesnar and have Brock versus Ryback at Rumble.
yeah, I can see what you're saying there. Especially if they're hyping up, all this, craziness going on.
Yeah. I mean, lights go out. I wanted those lights to come back on and it just to be somebody shocking. I wanted to go, holy shit. And maybe they were afraid that if they did something like that it would overshadow The Rock. But it wouldn't overshadow The Rock. It would just be like, hey, did you see Raw where Rock cut a really awesome promo and holy shit, that guy did that thing to Ryback? I mean, I know there was nowhere else to fit the Shield, and I wanted the Shield on Raw at some point. I want them to progress. I want them to constantly be a focus. But I really part of me just wanted someone different.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't bother me too much because it made sense logically, but it would have been cool to see, like Surfer Sting or Psycho Sid or
Kevin
The
Nash.
ECW zombie.
yeah.
The ECW zombie. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't hate it. I was just conflicted because it was something where it's like, I know it was a logical choice. I know it's what should have happened, but part of me wanted something shocking. For the first Raw of 2013, I wanted something that was going to fucking floor me. So, and while I enjoyed Raw overall, I just kind of felt, Though I will say this TLC match between Ryback and CM Punk way better than their Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, but you can definitely tell that the more those guys have worked together, they've kind of figured out what they can do and what they shouldn't do.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell the longer Ryback has been in the main event, the more he's figured out, how to work his matches. Like, he's been getting a lot better in that main event slot ever since they threw him in there in Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
So, I give him a lot of credit for that. Anything else before we discuss the big closing segment?
Nothing worth talking.
Okay. Helmet.
How come nobody mentioned Caitlyn versus Eve?
Like I said, nothing worth talking.
Because it wasn't a match. I mean, those two, I honestly feel those two do work well together. And they get better with each other as long as it's one-on-one. Whenever they add somebody else, it's awful. But I feel Caitlyn has been improving. I like her new look. And I just kind of feel like with them making the Divas title match for tomorrow, I kind of just feel like it's like Caitlyn's got to win the belt at some point. It almost feels like that. It almost feels like it's happened so much, like that's the logical progression. So, I don't know. Maybe this was just a way to get a big heel response from Eve, set up something, and maybe try to get some sort of reaction for when they have the match this coming Monday. But, main event. Who wants to break down the main event before we talk and give our opinions?
Well, I can't do a full breakdown because this show at 3 hours still has an overrun and my DVR cuts off.
Oh, okay. I'll do it. That's fine. All right. So CM Punk, after his match, vowed that he was going to come out before The Rock because he had something to say. This was also something that I believe was used either during like the lull of the BCS or halftime, one or the other, according to that report. But regardless, CM Punk comes out and cuts a promo basically explaining how a year and a half ago he cut the Vegas promo and, you know, he spoke the truth and he had some delusional thing about having respect and everything, but it was mainly he was out there just to insult the crowd and tell them, you know, I don't do this for you, I do this for me, and you all, you know, basically cutting a promo to make him king heel of the WWE. If he wasn't already, it was mainly to make him king heel. So he cuts this long promo. He stays in the ring. He continues to cut it, and then that brings The Rock out. The Rock cuts his promo for his end as Superface to get the crowd back behind him and to get it riled up for CM Punk versus Rock. They have a back and forth. They cut some really good promos, and then it ends with a rock bottom by The Rock. And The Rock celebrates, crowd's happy, end of Raw. I know Howard's got some opinions he wants to share about it. I got some opinions. But first, I think before that, let's get the opinions of Tim and Helmick.
Well, CM Punk shouldn't give any shout-outs anymore because he gave a shout-out to Tyson Kidd, and then Tyson Kidd got apparently tore his MCL, so he's out 6 to 8 months.
It's like the Madden curse, but with words.
Poisoned him. But, no, CM Punk was, I thought, we've said this before, we know their promos are going to be good. So I liked how the one part where Punk talked about, Punk talked about how Rock wasn't going to be able to reach him because, he couldn't punch the face of God and whatnot. So I thought that amused me a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. What about the Rock side of it?
I mean, to me, it was just a typical Rock promo. Just, completely burying, CM Punk, coming out with Cookie Puss. The Cookie Puss really didn't bother me so much as it did the rest of you. But,
don't. Hey, when you say bother, don't look at me. I didn't give a shit about Cookie Puss.
Okay, well, I'll leave that to Howard then. But, him and Punk just kept us on our seats every second of the way, just wanting to hear what they're going to say to each other next.
Yeah. What were you going to say? What you got, Helmick?
Well, again, with as much of this segment as I saw up to right into the point where The Rock was talking about Cookie Puss and the ice cream bars. Then my DVR cut out because of course when you have a 3-hour show, you still need like a 15-minute overrun. But what I saw and what I read sounds really good. It's setting the stage for their feud at the Rumble, and again, I always enjoy Punk's plate bomb or shoot style promos. And I think for him to come out and give shout outs to some guys who aren't featured very regularly, but but the crowd still knows. I thought that was all fine and good. I actually liked. I preferred Punk's promos on SmackDown this week, but I guess we'll talk about that when we get to SmackDown.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to carry that because unfortunately, the only things that I saw of SmackDown is I saw a good chunk of the Del Rio match, and I saw the opening with Rock, Sandow, and Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
So
that segment.
Yeah. Howard, go ahead. Let me know. Let everybody know your overall feelings of this promo.
I liked it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought it was really, really good. I think Punk and Rock will feed off each other a little bit better. My issue with it, and like I said, it's not a big problem because, like I said, I didn't hate it, but I just had a little bit of a problem. It's a weird juxtaposition when you have the Rock's, kind of silly, but very serious, kind of back and forth, and Punk is just straight faced the whole time. It just seemed like a weird thing, and I kind of wish that maybe at least once they would just have, the Rock would just be serious the whole time. The cookie puss and ice cream bars and all that. It is The Rock, and I'm not saying that he shouldn't do that stuff, but I would like to see like a really heated, really good, because that's Punk is as a heel. That's what he's about, front and say he's no shit, and I would like to see that from The Rock as well, because I think that would mean a little bit more than because it's okay because Cena's silly and The Rock is silly and it kind of works, but The Rock can be very serious too, and I just hope that moving forward I'd like to see a little more of that. Get away from the cookie puss and the other stuff a little bit more. Not saying get rid of it because that's The Rock, and I'm not saying I didn't like it, but I just would like to see just a little more seriousness from The Rock. Just it would show that he, thinks of Punk as a legit. It would feel to me like The Rock is like, oh hey, look, I'm taking this seriously. I don't know. A little bit of it. I don't want him to completely phase that out, but I just think they would make for a better promo at least one time.
All right, fair enough.
Yep. Like I said, didn't hate it.
Yeah, I got a lot of opinions about
all the opinions
about this promo, and it stems with the reaction to it by a lot of the internet wrestling crowd.
I haven't really read anything on that, so this will be interesting to hear.
The day after, a lot of it, you get everybody that's just a straight up Rock fan and they enjoyed it and they loved it, and then you get the guys that are just like, CM Punk spoke the truth just like he said, and he buried The Rock, and The Rock cut his usual stupid slappy happy joke, like basically repeating every word CM Punk had to say regarding Rock's promo style and what he had said to the fans. And the more that I thought about the promo, and the more that I thought about what these comments and what these people got out of it, the more it kind of drove me nuts and everything. Because, first and foremost, if you saw that promo and you literally felt, man, CM Punk spoke a lot of truth about Tyson Kidd and other shit like that, and he was cutting another shoot promo, and he was doing all this, and he was getting under The Rock's skin, like basically like he was attacking The Rock, and he was going after WWE and everything. You didn't fucking listen to a word that he said. CM Punk cut a promo on Raw with the sole purpose of completely eliminating the positive reaction people gave him to cutting shoot promos and making him the biggest heel in the company in preparations for taking on WWE's biggest face of all time. I will say that ever since Vegas, and ever since CM Punk turned heel, while CM Punk has still been creative and good on the mic, he has not cut anything with the vigor that he had in Vegas. He has not cut any promos that have left people talking like the one in Vegas. And he knew going into Raw that to make this match be as big as WWE needs it to be for the Rumble, he needs to cut a promo head and shoulders above anything he's cut when he feuded with Ryback, with Cena, with anybody else. It needed to be a cut above all of those. And in the process, he needed to bury that edgy image that everyone took him for in Vegas. He didn't speak about Tyson Kidd and Brodus Clay and Daniel Bryan smiling when he's a submission technician to get a reaction from the marks. He did it, and then the moment someone cheered, he insulted them for it, basically saying, like, look, this is the shit that you like, and I cut it for the sole purpose of getting you suckers to like me to make money. So the stuff that was cut on Monday was an example of stuff like, hey, this is what I cut. Oh, look, see, you cheered. You're a bunch of idiots. I'm the heel. I'm making money. I did all this. Basically saying, like, I created the voice of the voiceless to get you all to invest in me and make me money and make me champ. And when I realized that as a face, there's only a glass ceiling that no one can ever break through because of John Cena, I turned heel. And now you must all realize that I am heel. And not only am I heel, I am the biggest heel. And you are going to hate me more than anyone you have ever hated in the WWE, so that when Royal Rumble hits, you are begging for The Rock to beat me. You are pleading. You are begging. You are sitting there with your hands under your butt, just in anticipation to launch yourself out of the couch and cheer when or if The Rock wins. Like, that was his whole thing. That was his portion of it. And the internet wrestling crowd going apeshit saying, well, he cut another shoot promo again, and he made The Rock look like a fool. He didn't. He actually never personally attacked The Rock. Everything he cut as an insult to The Rock obviously did identify some things that were said in a more personal manner by John Cena a year ago, but it was said more to be a heelish response to anything The Rock said, not as a way to personally attack The Rock, which is why I think this promo is shaping up CM Punk versus The Rock to be a better feud head and shoulders above John Cena versus The Rock.
That's impossible. John Cena and The Rock had a whole year. What's a month gonna do?
They had a whole year of promos that made everything more personal than entertaining. Were they entertaining? Yes, they were. I marked out when John Cena walked out as Doctor of Thugonomics, and I laughed at the Rock concert, and I enjoyed when he threw all of John Cena's merchandise into the river and shit. But there was a sense of personal jabbing at each other that I feel John Cena took to a level higher than The Rock did, and took the focus off making this a big money feud and put it more on who's got the bigger dick. Like, John Cena's focus was to come out and bury The Rock, make himself look great, and then make money. While Rock's whole idea was, to respond, but also he's there to make money. He's there to sell WrestleMania tickets. He never lost focus of that. John Cena did, took it to a personal level that after a while I kind of got tired of, because I was like, okay, that's great. Like when he came out and cut a promo and made an edgy statement and pushed everything over the envelope and made everybody go, oh, that was great. Now give The Rock a chance to respond. When instead, The Rock will come out, respond for 2 seconds, and then John Cena's like, oh, well, I got to make sure I come out and interrupt him because I got to point out the fact that he's got shit written on his hand when he could have easily done that the following week. It's like I couldn't find out what The Rock was going to say because John Cena for the first couple of weeks felt I have to go out and interrupt this dumb bitch and make myself and take another dig as soon as I can to make myself feel better. While these two promos on Raw between The Rock and Cena, while there were a few little digs at things at each other, it was to create a promo that got a reaction out of the crowd to get everybody hyped up. Because I honestly feel after that promo by both of them on Monday, this feels like a WrestleMania match that just happens to take place at the Royal Rumble. The Rock stuff, to me, like I this is the part I don't get. when The Rock was a main guy in the Attitude Era every week, he came out and he cut promos to bury Steve Austin, to bury Triple H, to bury The Undertaker, to bury every single face and heel he ever came up against. He never held, even Mick Foley, when he was tagging with Mick Foley, he cut promos that buried Mick Foley. But no one ever looked at them and went, hey, wait a minute, you're burying somebody. It was, man, that's really funny. And at no point did it ever injure the credibility of the person he was up against. Never did it lose any shine to Steve Austin's star. Steve Austin was still the top guy for his run, and when The Rock would insult him and bury him in a promo, it never hurt Austin, it never hurt Taker, it never hurt Triple H, it never hurt any of those guys who are technically bigger than CM Punk ever will be. Well, mainly Austin, and maybe Undertaker. CM Punk's probably bigger than Triple H, because fuck him, and his short hair.
Fucking his wife.
Yeah. Or Bobby Roode 2.0.
Fucking his wife.
But now all of a sudden, if he comes out and cuts a promo against guys that today some people like a lot, it's burying, it's cheapening the guy, it's hurting him, and it's something that people are afraid that wrestler will never be able to recover from. And it drives me nuts because it feels like me being a fan of The Rock and just enjoying his presence being out there, it makes me feel like I'm the asshole for just liking this stuff. For thinking that when Rock came out and cut a promo, was Cookie Puss a little weird? It was. But I kind of liked it because it was actually something he did research on, of pulling out a Baskin-Robbins character from the 1970s. To tie into the ice cream thing. I thought that was kind of clever, though the use of
He should have used Cookie Opus.
The use of it was kind of out of place. But to me, I never, ever felt like, oh man, he's burying CM Punk with this. I felt like, I mean, every promo The Rock has ever cut on anyone, no matter how serious the feud, has always had bits of comedy in it. The Rock has never been serious from beginning to end. And if he is, people are going to look at it and go, well, what's wrong with The Rock? Why did The Rock just come out? He didn't say any of his catchphrases. He didn't cut any jokes. He came out and he was just pissy, and he just left. Like, it's not The Rock. It's not how The Rock became The Rock. So, does he need to be serious at some point? Yes. And he did get serious by the end of that promo. And he was serious at the beginning. He got a few comedic parts, but overall I felt the seriousness was there. But I just feel like the guy has been here for so long, or had been in WWE for a long time, did everything he possibly could, left. I mean, he earned a ton of money. He left, and now he's coming back when he doesn't have to. The Rock does not need the WWE. The WWE, but he has come back, now that he's spent time in Hollywood, he has come back to do things for the WWE to help make them more money. And it's looked upon by some as, look at this asshole burying today's stars, not showing up every week, and not working hard like these guys do. When I feel like he worked hard. Now he's coming back to help the WWE, and the appearances that he makes, I feel, should be, I don't want to say appreciated, but should be enjoyed, like, for what they are. Because when he goes away, CM Punk will still be there. And Cookie Puss will go away. Just like Fruity Pebbles have gone away from Cena. No one...
Except for the fact that Cena's now the mascot.
No, I mean, he's the mascot for Fruity Pebbles, but when's the last time you heard a Fruity Pebbles chant from anyone? Not since maybe a month after The Rock left.
True.
Nobody chants it anymore. And Cena is the most hated guy by adults in the WWE. You would think that would stay. So when Rock goes away after Mania, Punk will still be there. And Punk is too fucking good to be buried by one word on the first Raw of 2013. He's going to turn this around to where this match, by the time the last Raw airs before the Rumble, this match is going to... People are going to be so pumped, whether they're little kids to guys like us who have watched it for years. This is going to be an exciting match because those two are going to make it that way. I have no doubt that the promos are going to be phenomenal, that the match quality is going to be there because of the simple fact that CM Punk, whether he likes The Rock or not, knows this is going to make him a lot of money. And more than anything, he is going to be out there to try to make as much money on this feud as possible. It is not going to be a thing of personal gripes. It is not going to be cheap shots and constant interruptions to make the adult crowd go, ooh. It's going to be a feud and a match that is going to be entertaining both verbally and physically, because those two are going to go out with the same mindset that we're working together and we got to make this the best match possible and we got to make the most money we can. And he's going to want to make that match so good that when Rock and Cena 2 ends at WrestleMania, people go, well, that was alright, but it was no Rock CM Punk. And that's what's going to set this feud apart from everything. That's why The Rock's words did not bother me. I laughed at the things The Rock said. I was thoroughly entertained, and I was happy to see him on Raw. And then the moment that show went off the air, and everybody else in that room was hung up on Cookie Puss, I felt like an asshole. Like, man, did I miss something? Did I, like, am I not paying attention? Am I overlooking something? Like, because I enjoyed this. This was great. This was fun. That's one of the most entertaining closings to a Raw I've seen in a long time. And I feel like a dick for thinking it was awesome, because everybody else is apparently mad about this Cookie Puss word. I didn't get it, and I had to think about it for a couple of days to figure out, like, was there something wrong with this promo, to where I kind of felt like, at least in my eyes, in my personal opinion, no. These promos were awesome. They were entertaining, and I will take more of that if that's what I'm going to get leading up to Royal Rumble.
All right. So, how do you really feel about that?
It was all bullshit.
Okay.
No, that's it. I mean, that's all. It's all I got. It's what it's been stewing in my head since Tuesday. And if anybody wants to say I'm wrong or whatever, or share a different opinion, they're more than welcome. This is not for me to have a confrontation with anybody. I was just sharing my opinion. Anybody that wants to have a rebuttal or whatever, feel free. I mean, that's what this whole show's about: sharing opinions and expressing whatever about other people's opinions. Or complete silence. That's awesome too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. But with something like that, I mean, I think I think you made a lot of good points. I think some people, especially on the internet, you have a lot of things that'll really people that'll really blow a lot of stuff out of proportion. So. Yeah, and again, I think with some of those things, with some of the promos, especially from a part-time guy, doesn't necessarily destroy people's credibility. It's the way that they're booked long-term. So, I think that's a big part of it. But, no, I mean, I agree with pretty much everything that you said.
Fair enough. I almost feel like this should just be a two-person show.
But then no one will talk about Impact.
Well, then take us into Impact so that people will not stop listening because I'm the only one talking.
All right. So for those who didn't know, which is a lot of people, Impact, or TNA, has a pay-per-view tonight. They had a show on Thursday where essentially Sting comes out after returning from his his not-so-secret commercials that aired during Impact, where he cuts a promo basically saying himself, Samoa Joe, and the cyborg known as Kurt Angle are pretty much going to take down Aces and Eights. But he actually calls out Mr. Anderson because apparently Mr. Anderson had been hanging out with Aces and Eights. And guess what? Mr. Anderson makes a pretty good point because a few months ago, before Bound for Glory, he was going to team with Sting to face Aces and Eights, but Aces and Eights beat the crap out of him, and no one came to help him. So now he's like, you know what? I'm going to join those guys.
That happens when you have bad friends.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because the heel's right. So basically, as a kind of a runoff of that, there's now a match tonight featuring Samoa Joe. Or I should say there was, since it was in progress and it has happened, where Samoa Joe had faced Mr. Anderson, impromptu kind of, and Mr. Anderson won with the thanks of newly unmasked Mike Knox. So spoilers.
No, so... Alright, so far we have unmasked Luke Gallows, Mike Knox, and Devon.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not sure if I told you this, Helmick, but I believe the vice president's going to end up being
Wes Briscoe?
D'Lo Brown.
Oh, man, a motorcycle game with 2 black guys in it?
Well, I was telling Black Matt and Howard this. It's a motorcycle gang where 2 of its top 3 leaders are black.
It doesn't seem like it'd be a motorcycle gang at all.
Not with the motorcycles they drive, at least, or ride. More like I would expect
old
I would expect with a gang like that they'd be driving more like Hondas or Suzuki's or whatnot.
No. They drive old beat up Acuras.
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
So let's see. There had also been a X Division tournament matches where the previous week you had a match between Christian York and Kid Cash, where pretty much there was just 4 guys in this tournament, and the winner of those 2 matches, we're going to have a match at the pay-per-view, and then a match against Bob Van Tam. So both Kenny King and Christian York had won their matches, and they had a match, tonight, which, by the way, has also already happened, where Christian York had beaten Kenny King, but Kenny King has been slowly turning heel, and that has come to fruition tonight. So Christian York ended up losing to Bob Van Tam because he's a good friend who came down to the ring right after their match ended and beat Christian York. So good guy, Bob Van Tam.
Oh, Bob Van Tam.
All right. Now to introduce the new power couple of TNA, and I don't mean Jesse and Tara, I mean Robbie T and Miss Tessmacher.
Hooray.
Because Robbie T is now more over than Robbie E, because they had a few weeks ago there was a bro off, okay, between Robbie E and Jesse. Okay,
actually, I did see the bro off. That was
Robbie
pretty
T.
Awesome.
Robbie T, as I would like to explain it, pretty much had a Vladimir Kozlov moment, if that's fair to say.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
So pretty much through that, Robbie T got really over, and apparently him and Miss Tessmacher are now an item after the match they had on Thursday. So Mr. and Mrs. T are over than Robbie E.
Man,
Also, Miss Tessmacher and Robbie T did a dirty dance routine, if you know what I mean.
Oh, wow.
They also this past week's Impact, they had Gut Check, and they changed the format to Gut Check now, where it's not one young superstar versus a guy on the Impact roster. They now feature 2 lucky contestants who wrestle each other and then get judged the following week. So you got one Jay Bradley and one Brian Cage. And if I had to pick one between the 2 of them, I would pick Jay Bradley, who was apparently working heel during this match too.
Okay, see, I actually thought that's what they were going to be doing with Gut Check when they first announced it. I thought they were going to be having young guys come in and wrestle each other, and then they vote on and hire the winner or the better wrestler of the match.
Yeah. So after that, you have a montage of Joseph Park and his time at OVW. By the way, he's completed all the courses, and now he's a full-on graduate of OVW, thanks to Danny Davis.
Did we get another great Danny Davis promo?
Yeah, he put over Joseph Park in this promo, though.
Oh, really?
Pretty much saying how Joseph Park had been there every day, putting himself through it and all, and that he's graduating. So Joseph Park comes out and pretty much demands Hulk Hogan make him a member of the roster so they can wrestle someone from Aces and Eights. And Hogan's like, I don't know, but Joseph Park pretty much sandbags him into doing it anyway. He just Hulk's like, well, I guess. Joseph Park's like, yes, you won't be disappointed, and then runs out.
Oh, good old Joseph Park.
So Joseph Park is wrestling Devon tonight. So, anyone want to make a prediction on that match? Because I'm picking Joseph Park.
I'm going to take Joseph Park too.
I'll take Devon.
I'm going to take Devon also.
You would, racist.
But I don't care.
God, so much hate. So after that segment,
Kane called me. Sorry.
So after that segment, Brooke Hogan.
Thank you, Tim. That was the appropriate reaction.
I chose to ignore it. Let's just say that.
Well, I'm agreeing with you.
And Circle gets the square.
So Brooke Hogan has a confrontation with the Hulkster in the ring. Pretty much saying you should unsuspend Bully Ray.
You should suck a dick.
She is sucking dick. Bully Ray's dick. And we'll have more on this later in the night because you have an amusing backstage segment where Austin Aries and Bobby Roode are coming to the ring, and they're deciding whether or not. And Bobby Roode and Austin Aries are having an argument. It's like, hey, I'm going to wear my T-shirt. You're going to wear your robe. Okay. And it just goes back and forth where in the end, Bobby Roode comes out in his robe and Austin Aries comes out in his T-shirt. And they have a tag team match against Meth Hardy and James Storm, which ends in DQ where Austin Aries hits Meth Hardy in the back of the head. And apparently they're building a feud between James Storm and the Casuals right now because they interfered in this match and caused a bit of a distraction getting James Storm to leave ringside. So there's two matches taking place tonight in all this. James Storm is facing Christopher Daniels in a match where the winner will get the next title shot against Meth Hardy on a future episode of Impact. So, does anyone want to make a prediction on this one?
This sounds like the exact type of match that Christopher Daniels will win.
Yes.
And then TNA will just never give him the title shot. They'll just completely ignore it. That's my prediction. It's a double prediction. That Daniels will win and that he will never get his title shot.
Can I predict that I don't like anything involving the X Division title this evening? By that I mean I read what happened and I don't like it.
You can.
At all.
So you're predicting that you didn't like it?
Yeah, I'm predicting I didn't like it.
That sounds good to me.
It's dumb.
I'm going to predict that Brian didn't like it.
All right. So what about James Storm versus Chris Daniels?
And the winner of that gets a title shot, I believe, yes?
Yes.
Which at least clarifies to me that I don't... It clarifies that James Storm... Oh, yeah, James Storm originally won that match and then lost it to Bobby Roode. That's right, never mind. I was trying to remember the one where loser doesn't get a title shot until Bound for Glory.
Arthur Jameson Styles lost a triple threat match.
Yeah, it's only the person that got pinned, not the other person that actually lost. Whatever. I would love to see Daniels win this, for someone different. I'm going with Daniels.
I'm going with the rule that you can't have two faces wrestle each other for a title. So Daniels.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's see.
Howard, quick, change that prediction to it's going to be a triple threat, and they're going to add the returning Crimson.
Ooh.
Nah, I'm good.
Damn. I tried.
But Crimson did have the most uninteresting undefeated streak ever.
Oh, well, I have a better idea, Brian.
Okay.
I predict that it's going to become a triple threat match. They're going to add the newly returning Crimson.
What?
I wish I would have thought of that one.
Yeah, you bet. I'm sorry.
Alright, so... By the way, anyone wanting to see Kurt Angle anytime soon, that's not going to happen because Mike Knox pretty much beat the shit out of Kurt Angle before he had a match with Ken Anderson with the ball peen hammer. So there was an impromptu match between Sting and Mike Knox, and I don't have to tell you who won that match
The fans.
because that's how you get someone new over.
The fans won, obviously.
Yeah, the fans won.
Fuck Rob Van Dam. Sorry, I'm just saying. Fuck him.
Yeah.
No, you're right to say that.
Did you already mention what happened on?
I did.
I thought you did. I thought I heard you say like.
No. You're right to be disgusted with that anyway.
Isn't he a good friend?
I did say that too.
You did, yeah. That's what I'm sorry. That's what I meant when I said that. I meant that was what I heard you say, and I'm just confirming that was in reference to what took place at Genesis. Because that's.
So there's also going to be a knockouts gauntlet match where the winner gets a number one contender or gets a shot at the knockouts title. By the way, that match won't take place tonight. Where the participants in this match will be ODB, Miss Tastmacher, Velvet Sky, Mickey James, and Gail Kidd.
And that's not taking place. Why?
No, that's taking place tonight. I'm talking about the title match.
Oh, the title match is not the number one contendership is.
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, I'm picking ODB because fuck the rest of them, except for Gail Kim, because Robert Irvine would kill me.
You know what? I'm gonna take Tessmacher because I think by her hanging on Robbie T, she'll pick up a lot of really good new wrestling moves.
Well, she'll pick up more than if she was sided with Crimson.
Oh yeah. But then again, Crimson did have the most uninteresting undefeated streak in wrestling history.
I also go with ODB. But more for the simple fact that TNA found a way to make a woman who outside of TNA actually looks relatively attractive, but fucking ugly. In ODB. And they do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. It's magic. They make her look ugly and they write the X Division like shit.
Sounds like TNA to me.
Bastards. Just all of them. Just a bunch of fucking bastards.
Alright, there's also Doc versus Sting in a match where, Sting's returning and Doc's the one who took him out. So, does anyone not want to take Sting?
Nah, I've seen TNA enough to know.
So if Jeff Hardy were to drop the belt to Sting, would you start watching TNA again?
Yeah, I always said once Hardy loses the belt.
That is the stipulation.
Well, I didn't know
Stipulation.
I didn't know if there was a greater evil than Jeff Hardy in your opinion.
Nope.
No, not really.
Okay.
It's,
So he'll take anyone at this point.
yeah.
Bring on Rob Terry.
You know what? Yeah, I would. Rob Terry, Blue, Red, Eric Young, Suicide, Wes Briscoe.
ODB.
ODB. Actually, I think that would be funny.
And you'd watch the shit out of it, too.
I would, every week.
Let's see. All right, I have to go back to Impact because I have to explain how Bully Ray and Brooke are going to have a marriage on this coming week's episode of Impact because Bully Ray proposed to her in the middle of the ring.
Oh, weddings equal ratings.
Weddings equal ratings.
You know, the part I love about this the most is back when Dixie Carter said that Brooke Hogan was not signed to be an on-screen presence in TNA. She was there strictly to help the knockouts.
Yeah.
Brooke Hogan even said that herself.
That lasted, what, about 2 weeks?
Backstage power, that's what I'm going to say.
Let's see if the teacher can earn the diploma.
Hooray!
Huzzah!
God, this is the one instance where I really wish her singing career would have taken off. Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Bully Ray. I feel awful for him.
No, this is totally going to get him over once and for all. Because he can't do it himself.
I don't know. Like I haven't been watching. I haven't really seen a whole lot of this story. So has the crowd been reacting to this any? Have any of these segments actually been good?
I know I didn't like any of them.
Because I mean, like I thought that like Brooke Hogan was doing okay in like the backstage pre-tape segments, but I always felt like she was somebody that you would really need to protect and work around her limitations. And I don't know if throwing her out for in-ring segments and doing a wedding angle is necessarily the best thing for her. But call me crazy.
You're crazy.
I know.
Alright, so with that being said, we have to go over the last match for the pay-per-view. And that's Jeff Hardy versus Bobby Roode versus Austin Aries in a triple threat elimination match. So the winner will not be, the first one pinned. It will be, 2 pins. Equals 1 win.
Oh.
So this match came about because Meth Hardy wanted to face 2 guys at the pay-per-view for some reason. Because he's a fighting champion, that guy.
He's got a heart of a lion.
Yeah, so let's put both of our top heels in there.
And I'm sorry, go on.
And that's how the match is formed.
And let's make it painfully obvious that these two are going to end up screwing each other out of beating Jeff Hardy.
Yep.
Yeah, which really is dumb if it's an elimination match. Because you would think those two should just work together. It doesn't matter who pinned. Like, they could both pin Meth Hardy.
Yes.
And then they can just have a match amongst themselves.
Yeah,
But they won't do that, and it'll be stupid.
No, because they're going to fight over who pins Jeff Hardy. You would think that since their big beef with each other is the fact that Bobby Roode still thinks Austin Aries is a fluke, and Austin Aries is still like, well, fuck you, that they would be like, well, the best way to sell this is by getting rid of Hardy and going one-on-one. But no, they'll fuck each other over, and Jeff Hardy will win, and no one will care. So
I will, because I'll still have to talk about it alone.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that doesn't happen, and you won't have to talk about it alone anymore.
Well, I'm glad someone appreciates that.
Yeah, I know it hasn't been easy on you.
By the way, I want to go back to that mixed tag match of Miss Tex Smocker and Robbie T and Tara and Jesse Goddard. It was a short match, and it took me a moment to realize that the women in the match were the actual workers. Just saying.
Yeah.
Even though Rob Terry actually did look bad, he actually looked like he has seasoning in him.
maybe he's learning from Robbie E.
Who knows? But that's all I got to say.
Just one last time before we go to SmackDown, I would just like to say, fuck you, Rob Van Dam.
Hey, he's a good guy, Bob Van Dam.
Hey.
He's kind of a one.
Like, what, the X Division tournament finals was the second match on the card. Third match, maybe. They couldn't have had maybe a match or two in between, or make that the first match and then have it later so you can have an actual full-on contest instead of RVD like, I'm gonna come out right after you got your ass beat and jumped after the match and then go, oh, but I'm faced because I'm going, oh, we don't have to have this match, but then you beat him anyway, which you're fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck TNA's logic in that regard. I'm just whatever. I'm just so over it. So over it. Every time they do something right and make me go, oh, TNA, that's good. That's good. That's nice. They also got to do something to remind me why I fucking hate them. Every time. Like, whoa, 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 don't get too excited there, putz. Look at this shit. Yeah, eat shit, Smith. Yeah. We're going to keep giving you reasons why you're not going to watch this show.
And if it wasn't for the bad announced team, you'd make it another point.
God, that announce team is really bad, too. Like, I've watched highlights of certain things.
You know what? It's not Taz's fault.
It's really not. It's that other guy. That other guy.
It is the new guy. God, I don't like him.
He is so shitty. Oh my god. Because like every now and then when I read the results and I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I would like to see that. And they always break their show up in the YouTube segments. I watch those segments and oh my god, he is awful. What is his name?
Todd Kennelly.
Get Pettengill. God, Todd Pettengill's the better Todd.
Todd Grisham.
Todd Pettengill and Todd Grisham are the better Todds. They are the superior Todds.
Man, you know that's.
Have you heard this guy, Helmick?
Yeah, I've heard him like for a few minutes here and there. Yeah, he's pretty awful. But it's pretty bad when Todd Pettengill is the superior Todd.
Fucking.
Oh, says the guy who wants to see Todd Pettengill.
Fucking crystal meth Christ. He is fucking terrible. He is the epitome of give me heel Cole. I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we can all be coal miners again.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be a coal miner. Oh fuck. God, SmackDown. Helmick, did you watch SmackDown?
I did watch SmackDown.
I also watched SmackDown.
Give me some things you liked and you didn't like.
Before we go to the main event, I like the fact that the Shield beat shit out of Randy Orton for facing Antonio Cesaro.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Well, that is an injustice.
Yeah. Actually, I liked everything about that whole segment. I thought Orton and Cesaro worked pretty well together.
I did too, actually.
I like the fact that they, like they really do seem to be high on Cesaro, and they're protecting him because if this was a guy that they weren't too keen on, I can see them just doing a non-title match. Orton wins, and then the Shield beats him up afterwards.
Not before Orton would punt Cesaro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Orton would RKO, punt, and murder Cesaro, and then get beat up by the Shield afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah, but I thought that was really good. And again, it gives the Shield somebody else to feud with. I know they've attacked Orton before.
Yeah. This isn't the first time they attacked Orton.
Yeah.
Well, they gotta attack. They gotta keep it with Ryback, and then they have to attack two different people to have another 6-man tag at the Rumble.
Well, I was telling Helmick that I think this feud's going to go all the way to Elimination Chamber, and they're going to have a War Games type match. And I was telling Helmick how one of the best things they could do, in my opinion, is they have the Shield do heel style faction of clearing the ring, so then they're in the ring alone, and then out comes Mark Henry, and he houses all three of them by himself, and then there's another top guy in the company who the Shield can feud with as well.
I'm just scared of a Mark Henry Ryback tag team.
What is scary about it?
There's just a lot of man there.
No buffets would stand a chance.
There's a lot of man there.
Rark Henback. I'm so scared.
Plus, it'd be a way to, bring in Mark Henry strong, and still be, someone who would be a top contender for a title.
There you go.
Well, that's what I thought,
Yeah. Plus, I mean, I always like the idea of bringing somebody back or like debuting somebody at the Rumble because, you can have them come in and be dominant, but even like if they come in and eliminate like 3 or 4 guys, like those guys aren't necessarily being like, completely destroyed. They're getting thrown out of the ring. So it's always something that you can really easily, protect somebody from. Protect somebody doing, doing an elimination like that, and you can still kind of set up some feuds there.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a bad idea.
No, it's not, and I think I'm essentially going to repeat what you said, but it's like you're basically saying that the hype for this can essentially start in the Rumble match, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Instead of being the idiot that states everything you just said again, it would be cool to see them coming out like separately. Or if it actually be kind of neat if it was like 3, 2, 1, bam, and they all come out as one unit. Like the Shield is number 21.
22 and 23.
That would be pretty awesome.
Or if they draw numbers 1, 2, and 3, and nobody comes out for numbers 1 or 2, and then like the 2 minutes counts down, and then when number 3 comes out, all 3 of them come out.
That would be cool. Or like just have them started off and they're just pummeling people until like the first big name comes out.
Yeah.
Or a big like return. Like whoa hey, gonna say the guy that Tim said. Gonna say the guy that scares Howard.
No. It's not just Mark Henry that scares me. It's both of them.
It is the true team of Rye Black.
Yeah. That would scare me.
Yeah, because, that'd be cool. They beat the shit out of a bunch of people. 3 people are, 3 big names are able to finally come in and take care of them and get them out of the match, and that makes the Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a lot of conflicting reports, like that could be a case. So, is that one of the 2 Elimination Chamber matches, or will there be 3 Elimination Chamber matches?
That is way too much Elimination Chamber match.
Well,
that's also why I said it'd be a War Games style match.
Well, it would be, but they would probably, in that case, they would probably just use the Elimination Chamber. And,
yeah, I'm sure they would.
And just keep them all in
having 3 of those matches, 3 of any type of match like that, 3 gimmick matches like that, I think is going to be a lot to ask a crowd to sit through.
Well, the rumor is, and not a rumor that there's going to be 3 of them, but the rumor is that WWE may have The Rock lose at the Rumble and win the belt at Elimination Chamber. Because he actually, if WWE has a list of his official appearances between now and Mania, and Elimination Chamber is one of them. And to me, it would be a decent way to have The Rock in a match with multiple guys that maybe would never get the chance to work with him.
Now that would be interesting.
That's why I say, to me, if The Rock wins at Rumble and he's not going to be in the Elimination Chamber, then make the other chamber match that 3-on-3 match. And if you still want to make it so that the third entrance is a surprise, just make the cylinder empty, and when the cylinder is chosen, the person comes out.
Yeah.
However you want to do it. Because, I like that idea. I also have been clamoring for a fucking War Games match for a while. So maybe they'll finally listen to TNA's head booker and make the match happen.
Call me Dixie.
Wait, why would Dixie call you for a chamber match? You already work for TNA.
Yeah, but I'm still waiting for the paychecks.
So it's like the days of ECW. You get a check, or you don't get a check, and then when you do finally get a check, he's going to say, you might want to wait to cash that. So, just
Or it bounces.
or it bounces. Like, no, it'll be good when you go in there. It'll be fine. Oh, did it bounce? Ah, God, that's embarrassing. That's
All right.
some other.
Helmick, what's next?
What?
I was gonna say, what's next, Helmick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's some other things you liked or didn't like?
I don't know if this was just me, but I thought the Big Show's promo to open the show was kind of weird. Like, it just felt like, I don't know, like some things there just kind of felt like they didn't really make sense. Like, it kind of straightened itself out, but like he was using the line like there is no Latino hero, and I just don't know if race baiting is a good way to go about trying to get Del Rio over as a face. Like, I don't know if you read anything into that, Tim, or if that's just me.
In fairness, they were in Miami,
That's true, but
so that's about it. But
I can't imagine
I thought
him-
Del Rio was already over because he saved his buddy, and fans like Ricardo.
Yeah, I mean they got him over for me, but like I just can't imagine like them ever going to, say, like Baltimore, and then Big Show coming out and be like, "Hey, there's no black heroes, and you want a black hero because there's a lot of black people in Baltimore, or like whatever city
And
you're
out
in."
comes Gilbert.
Yes, because when I think black heroes, I think Gilbert.
Out comes Zach Gowen.
So, like, I don't know. And then like, he ended up, stating, like, there's no Latino hero, and they said there's no Irish hero, like, talking about Sheamus, but, like, I don't know, it just felt like... it just felt to be a little cheap to me. I don't know, maybe I was, looking into it too much, but...
Big Show does say weird things every once in a while in his promos.
Yeah, it just seemed to be... It just seemed to be kind of like a cheap attempt to get people to cheer for Del Rio was all.
I did it anyway. So
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo rules. That's all. The Rock and Rhodes Scholars.
Yeah,
That
I was gonna
promo-
say I watched that on the interwebs, and I thought that was really well done. I thought.
Yeah. I thought that was a great segment, and I thought it was a really good way to have somebody the status of The Rock interact with with some of your younger newer talent. I thought it was really well done.
You know,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was like
also really
the
done?
Rock's jokes were on point, and it seemed like, I mean, and Sandow, and Cody both are pretty good on the mic, so they seem to play off each other pretty well.
Yes, the Mustachio magnificence that is Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do enjoy those two together.
But let's see. Is there anything else worth pointing out for this episode?
Does it seem like to other people that the primetime players are kind of like off to the wayside now?
Yes, they
Yeah.
are. They were filling the gaps while Cody Rhodes was out for a while.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way I felt about it, and it seems to be the way they've been booked over the last few weeks. It definitely seems to be confirming that.
They did have an interesting or a funny part in those backstage Fallout videos that WWE does that are like follow-ups for things that happen on the show. I don't know if any of you have watched those before.
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
They did one for SmackDown, and it was funny because like they were talking about how like, oh yeah, we said 2013 was going to be the year of the primetime players, and we started it off backwards, we lost, and they're flipping out, and like Darren Young has 3 Diet Dr. Peppers sitting on a table, and like he's just like he's flipping out about the fact that they lost and like this isn't going to be their year. And like he opens one and he chugs it a bit, and then he slams it down and starts frothing anywhere. Then he frothing everywhere. Then he picks up the other one. He starts chugging that one. He starts bitching some more, and then he takes the third. Like he's just opening them and drinking them like crazy. And then Titus is like, man, what are you doing? Like what's with all the sugar intake? And he's just like he like blows the whistle at him and like all this other. It was like really funny. I don't want to go into the whole thing because I feel like I'm not going to do it justice, but watching it was really funny because he's just flipping out and like opening like 80 million Dr. Peppers and like just taking a sip out of each one before they all just start flying all over the place. So that doesn't mean they're going to be featured though.
Yeah. But I think having that type of outlet is good for, especially for these younger guys. It gives them some practice in cutting promos and working on segments, and then for the people who do go and watch it, it gives them an opportunity to get to know the performers better too. So
yeah,
it's something I should probably start looking into, and at least watching a little bit more every once in a while.
I mean, most of those are only like 5 minutes long too, so a lot of it's worth it. I mean, I feel like in those aspects, in the way of WWE using Backstage Fallout and the Raw Active app doing what we were using it for on Monday, where there were certain segments that when the commercial break happens, you can continue to watch what's going on the Raw Active app. Like you can actually activate a live feed and it shows you what's going on in between commercial breaks, and then it shuts off when the commercial break is over. And it was cool for like the CM Punk promo at the end where he's like, I'm not leaving the ring and all that stuff. If you had the active app, you could open it up and the live feed was like he pulls a chair up into the ring and sits down and continues to maybe talk a little bit of smack, and then the commercial break comes back. So if they can find better ways to utilize that, I think that can all be a lot of strong things to help get talent over, more opportunities for them to get themselves over.
I agree completely.
Yeah. Not to mention.
Yeah, I mean it's cool technology, and I'd like to see, maybe some exclusive, like backstage stuff in between, and there's a lot you can do with that. So hopefully that's one good thing that they're doing with social media. So let's hope that they continue to improve on that.
Yeah.
Speaking of things I would like to see, I actually got one of them because we got to see Big E Langston beat up Hornswoggle.
Sure did.
Did he end his career?
Did he punt him?
No, he didn't punt him. But
not while the cameras were on.
No, yeah, at least not. Not while they were rolling. But I don't know, because apparently. And I don't know how or why this is happening, but we now have the pairing of Natalya Neidhart and Great Khali, which now apparently is being rumored at by Josh Matthews and JBL to be a romantic linking, which I guess is better than having Natalya Neidhart fart every week, but it's not a whole lot better because she's basically just being relegated to, the new valet for the oddities with Khali and Hornswoggle.
Duh.
You're killing him.
But they did lose a mixed tag match
Oy.
to Ziggler and AJ, and then after the match, Big E Langston laid out a Hornswoggle.
Good. Did he end his career?
I don't know. I don't think he. It may be on hiatus, and I haven't seen Hornswoggle really even do anything in months, so I couldn't tell you.
Damn.
Be a big dummy.
Yeah, a great big dummy.
And it's my understanding that AJ Lee uses sliced bread number 2, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
So, what do you guys think about the CM Punk promo?
I really enjoyed the stadium promo. They broke it up into 2 parts, and it kind of reminded me of what The Rock was doing with Cena last year, when The Rock had like the Tea Party, and like they had him, all over, like all over Boston cutting promos. But I really thought that Punk did a good job of, staying the heel, and staying in, straight character and just being a complete asshole, and running down how, they tore down the Orange Bowl, so, The Rock's home of his football glory days was gone, and how this is now the CM Punk era, and he's running the show, and how the WWE that The Rock knew, that's blown up and gone too. And I really thought in the second segment that Heyman did a great job. Like I've always been a big fan of Paul Heyman. I think all of us really have been, but I think he's been awesome in this role of like his manager, or just like his hype man. Like I think Heyman's been great, and I just love the fact how that Heyman was just running down The Rock and telling him, look, don't feel bad. CM Punk's not just better than you; he's better than everyone. Like I thought that was just really well done, and it was entertaining with Punk still being the stern straight heel.
Awesome.
It's probably going to be my segment of the week. Spoilers.
Bum, bum, bum. Well,
I know.
Spoilers.
well, you know what? Joke's on you. No polls this week. No.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Thank God I wasn't ready.
Well, thank God that my words are sarcasm.
I don't understand that word.
I don't get.
I'll tell you when you're older.
I don't
Alright.
get it.
But
we
he's
talk?
older now.
Should we talk about the title match then?
Nah, we're good.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
All right, bye.
All right, so talk about it. Actually,
Okay. It's actually a pretty good match. I really, really like this match. I think it really helped Alberto Del Rio a lot, I thought.
Yeah, I thought so too. Especially with, I don't know, it just seems. I mean, to me, it felt to be really soon to change the title, but watching the match in the way that they did it, it makes sense.
Yeah. And I really liked the last, 10 minutes of that match for the finish, where Del Rio comes off the top rope. I don't remember the move that Big Show did, but Del Rio's down. He answers the count of 10. He gets back up. Big Show choke slams him. Del Rio gets back up. Big Show uses the knockout punch on Del Rio, and then Del Rio rolls out of the ring enough to where Ricardo just brings down his other foot, so he looks like he's standing. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I really liked the use of Ricardo in that match, and I think Ricardo would have to be like the big vehicle that they would use to get him to turn Del Rio face.
yeah.
And I know we didn't get to talk about this, but on the Raw from on the Raw from New Year's Eve, like I thought that was my favorite segment of the show, was all the stuff with Del Rio and Ricardo and Big Show. Like I thought that was really good. So I thought this did a really good job of of helping cement him further. And now I'm actually really curious to see what they're going to end up doing with the title on SmackDown.
Yeah. I also like the fact that, it didn't take like one pair of steps to take out the Big Show, even though the Big Show did to himself and he wasn't knocked out for 10. Del Rio hit him like 5 or 6 times with the steps to knock him down. And then he does what I think was the smartest thing in a last man standing match since, dropping chairs on Wade Barrett. And that's shoved the announce table right on top of Big Show so he wouldn't be able to get back up.
Yeah, and I think there's ways where you can do that. Like the announce table, I think it was a really smart way to do it. And then there are ways where you can do something like that where it looks cheesy. Like I thought, Cena dropping all the chairs on Wade Barrett, I thought that was kind of lame. Or I think the one that a lot of people will probably remember
Duct tape.
Duct tape. Or it was the one with Chris Jericho and Kane, I think, where like Jericho lowered a forklift onto Kane, like a forklift pallet, and basically pinned Kane with a forklift. so Kane couldn't get up. So like they've had some mixed success with that type of finish. I thought this was probably my favorite one. It did make the most sense, and you could they really put over the point that Del Rio had to pull out everything that he could to to keep the Big Show down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, I also enjoyed that the crowd was actually behind the finish.
Yeah, the crowd was into it, and Del Rio celebrating with the crowd afterwards. I know Timothy was talking about that earlier. Like that was a really good shot to end the show. Like, I just only wish that Big Show would have had a longer title run, kind of like what they're doing with Punk. So this way, when he would lose the belt, the crowd would really be able to go ape shit. But I guess with the road to WrestleMania, if you have plans that you want to work out and matches you want to set up, sometimes you got to do some things on the fly.
Yeah.
I think that'll do it for SmackDown. I got nothing else to add to it.
Yeah. It was nice to see a title change on SmackDown. Nice to see something different. And I thought that The Rock and Cena were both pretty strong on the show. So probably a really good SmackDown to watch.
And that hasn't always been the case as of late.
No. No, it hasn't.
Indeed. All right, so with this being a normal show, we are back to doing polls. I'm sure you're all excited.
What? But you said...
Oh, God, did
He
I?
says a lot of things that I'm not sure what to believe anymore.
Sarcasm.
You should never believe anything.
Don't believe anything ever, except for that. And that.
What about that?
No.
And that.
No, I don't know.
And that.
Uh,
And that. And that.
but not that.
No.
All right. Oh, God, I don't feel like typing, but I'm going to. Oh, what do you mean you logged me out of WordPress, you fucking bastard? Oh, I'm logged out of WordPress. We're not doing polls.
Oh, the one thing that was great on SmackDown is the Rock was getting whatted, and he just went with it.
Yeah, I liked how he rolled with that and basically turned it into something as a positive for him. Like what, Whataburger? Oh, good old Austin. No one will ever manipulate that as well as Austin did. Why do we have... What the hell just happened there? Whoa. Holy poop. They give us a lot more stats now. Anyway. Just a lot of views all of a sudden. What the hell happened there?
We're popular!
Oh, for some reason the Dynamic Duos Super Cup, the opening round of the animated bracket, got 144 views out of nowhere.
Well, I guess people were looking for some dynamic duos.
I guess. What the hell is this? There's a link here. Why is there a link? Who dares? Oh. Fire breathe into a machine. Alright, I'm sorry. I'm completely derailing the show by trying to figure out how the hell this random wiki page sends people to our website, but whatever. Not interested. I'm interested, but this is not the time. It's not the time. I need to stop getting distracted.
I'm coming.
Nobody can hold me. Yep, I'm coming. Anyway, all right. Chinlock. What is today? The 13th? Yeah.
Yep. It definitely is.
Oh, well, there we go. I gotta throw in that pretty little picture of us all. I've been debating whether I wanted to do a new logo for 2013 or not, but we'll figure that out later. Alright, so first and foremost, we are going to do best match of the week. And we'll start that off with Howard.
With me?
With you.
Oh, obviously Big Show versus Kofi Kingston.
Oh, damn it, he took mine.
Curse.
I'm going to go ahead and not take somebody's,
Okay.
I think. So I'm going to back out. I'm going to go with Punk versus Ryback
Alright.
in a TLC match.
Fair enough. I am going to go with Team Hell No versus Team Rhodes Scholars. What do you got, Helmick?
I'm going to go with Alberto Del Rio and The Big Show in
You're
their
welcome.
Last Man Standing Championship match. Thanks, Howard.
Yeah, that's it. Nah, I'm just kidding.
You're a good dude.
I'm okay.
So, Tim, what TNA match are you nominating?
Austin Aries and Bobby Roode versus Jeff Hardy and James Storm in a tag team match.
Make it a fatal four-way.
No.
Oh.
Alright. Let us go ahead and save that. And then add it to the realm of the interwebs.
It is on there forever now.
It will never go away. Worst match of the week.
Obviously, Big Show versus Kofi Kingston.
Oh, damn, you took mine.
Yep, I'm actually going to stick with that one.
Alright, Tim, what TNA match you got?
Robbie T and Miss Tessmacher versus Jesse and Tara.
Man, Jesse Goddard's is gonna be like the king of the worst match of the king of the worst match for 2013. I can already see it coming. He's gonna have 52 nominations.
Mm,
I'm going with Wade Barrett versus Santino.
maybe 36.
Ah, okay.
Or 26, I should say.
Helmick.
I am going to go with the mixed gender tag match of Dolph Ziggler and AJ versus Natalya Neidhart and the Great Khali. Sorry, sorry,
is the
Ziggles.
Punjabi princess.
Who's my little princess?
Yeah, but you know, while I was watching that match, I was thinking this would be so much better if it were just Dolph Ziggler versus Natalya Neidhart.
You know what? It would be.
But AJ was doing her best Mike Tyson impression with the biting.
Yeah.
What's the best segment of the week?
Who are you asking first?
Whoever wants to step up to the plate.
I'm going to go with CM Punk's Sun Life Stadium promo. Part 1. No.
Alright, I'm going with Punk and Rock.
All right, everybody has to nominate something punk and rock related.
I'm trying to think if I don't want to split up either one of their votes though. So I'm going to take something a little bit out of the box, and I'm going to go with Antonio Cesaro hitting the Gotch neutralizer on the Great Khali.
That
I
is
know it's
pretty
not really a
basic.
segment, but I was really impressed with that.
Hitting what? I'm sorry, I don't know. Gotch neutralizer.
Just put
Yeah,
neutralizer. That should be good
neutralizer.
enough.
Yeah.
What you got, Tim?
I'm going to go with Joseph Park pulls a fast one on Hulk Hogan. Because he not only does he have a match, he's now a member of the roster.
I can't wait.
And I guess the search for his brother has been completely abandoned.
You know what?
It's stalled.
I can't wait to when Hulk Hogan becomes so impressed with Joseph Park's improved skills that he rewards him with his Hall of Fame ring. Why? Because fuck you, that's why. Alright. WTF moment of the week goes to Big E Langston. Never talk again. That's my nomination. Somebody give me another one.
That is a good one. I'm going to have to read over my notes to find one, so somebody y'all should go in the meantime.
Bully Ray proposes.
Well, that was awkward.
Go
Sorry.
ahead, Tim.
Okay, Bully Ray proposes.
Oh, you took mine.
No, I didn't.
You know, those are two top contenders right there. What you got, Howard?
I'm gonna go with. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Give me a minute.
All right.
Since Tim stole mine.
No, I didn't.
Helmut, did you think of one yet? Did you find one?
To be honest, I have not. Because, there wasn't really a whole lot this week that, I thought was, god-awful. Especially as far as, the segments go. I thought the segments were pretty good. There were some pretty
I'm going to go with 3MB being featured on most WWE programming this week. Question mark. There's just really, like Helmick said, there wasn't really anything that was abysmal.
All right. I put it as 3MB heavily promoted on WWE TV.
Baby. You have to put baby.
Baby! Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Baby.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Helmick, I got one for you.
Okay,
Randy,
I'm open to suggestions.
Randy Orton's horrible promo with 3MB to lead up to their match. You're starting off playing the air guitar, but when I'm done, you're going to be playing the harp.
That's right.
And that
I
was
forgot all about
fucking dumb.
That's
Yeah,
to
I
imply
usually-
that they're going to heaven.
Yeah, I think I was making a
And that heaven
sandwich
even
when
exists.
Randy was talking. Because normally I would just fast forward through something like that. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to nominate that. Good looking out, Brian. I appreciate that.
I want to put a Randy Orton and his harp.
I would say Randy Orton implying that there is a heaven.
Randy Orton believes in heaven.
How dare he put his religious views on me upon me?
Christ.
It should be a secular stringed instrument, like a harpsichord.
Best wrestler of the week.
I'm going to go with Alberto Del Rio.
That's a good one.
Alberto Del Rio. I'm going with Antonio Cesaro.
Oh man, I was actually going to do that.
Well,
then I'll just take the obvious answer and go with CM Punk.
okay.
I'm going to shock some people here.
You're going to say Joseph.
Ken Anderson.
Joseph.
Howard is correct. I am going to say Ken Anderson.
Wow.
What?
Oh God, you've just enraged the Helmick.
I don't even know you anymore.
I was gonna say there's so much anger. It's silent. It's turned to
How can
silence.
you hate that? Ken Anderson makes the most sense in his promo.
I never would have thought that I would have seen the day when we would have nominated. Not only do we have Ken Anderson be nominated for Best Wrestler of the Week, we also have Dolph Ziggler in a Worst Match of the Week nomination. 2013 sucks.
Hey! The worst match is not my fault.
No, it's not. It's not even Ziggler's fault or Natalia's fault.
Nope.
Poor Natalia. She always gets sucked into these black holes.
She does. Worst wrestler of the week. I'm nominating the Punjabi threesome. I'm just nominating all of them.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe bet. Let's see. I guess I will go with. I'll go with Santino.
Starting off 2013 the same way you started off 2012, Santino. Good job. Tim, who?
Brooke Hogan.
I like it.
It was a close one. I was
Between
thinking,
what, Brooke Hogan and Brooke Hogan?
Jesse.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Howard.
Trying to decide between. I'm gonna go with the Big Show.
All right. Makes sense. If the person that beat him is the best wrestler of the week by default, it could very well make him the worst. All right. So there we go. Those are our polls. Okay, so... Oh, wow. My brain forgot words as I was typing that up.
You can't brain today.
Nope. Hey, it was a long day yesterday.
At least your voice is better.
Kind of. As well as address. Well, no, I mean, it is. It's just... it does also kind of hurt to talk, so... But what can you do? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so with that being said, if you were to be kind enough to... Oh, I forgot to add the tag. Oh, well. Come on, Internet. Let's do it. Don't make me a liar. You, come on. Hey, there we go, you fuck. If you were to go to digitaldailyfix.com right now, top of the page would be Chinlock for 11313, along with all of this week's polls. Please take your time this week after you listen to our show, whenever day you choose to do that, to visit digitaldailyfix.com and vote. Share your opinion. Let us know which of these nominees you feel should win their respective prizes. And we will discuss these winners next week on the show, which will be a big one considering this Monday is an anniversary show for Raw, and a lot of things are planned. So hopefully those things are worthwhile and not a giant pile of ass excrement. Exactly.
Now you've doomed it.
Yes. Tomorrow will be the return of the Digital Reload, back for its first normal episode of 2013. And the big focus of that episode will be 2013 as a whole, what we feel, what things we are looking forward to, so on and so forth. as well as discussing the rumored next-gen consoles that will be hitting in the fall. I found a very interesting article from IGN, go figure, that was 10 bold predictions about the next-gen consoles. And while that, don't worry, I'm not going to ask any of you guys to come up with 10 bold predictions. We're just gonna go over the article, discuss our opinions of what they've laid out as their own predictions, and maybe make one each. So each person think of one. But just discussing next-gen consoles as a whole and the idea of digital distribution and everything like that. So join us for that tomorrow on the Digital Reload and everything there. So there's that. And if you haven't listened yet, we do have our best of shows that we did last week. It is the Best of Chinlock, where you can hear all our year-end awards in the world of wrestling, and Digital Reload's Best of for all the year-end awards in the world of wrestling. Yeah. Did I say world of wrestling for Digital Reload?
I think you might have.
World of video games. Fucking hell.
That's all right. We all know what you're talking about. We all know what you mean.
Yeah. So, yeah, listen to those. Listen to the latest Crisis Cast under the Digital Daily Fix Variety Show page on Spreaker.com, where we'll probably have another one by the end of this month, beginning of next, because we got to talk stuff like Superior Spider-Man and everything else.
We sure do.
Good for them. Touche, Dan Slott. Anyway, Crisis in Infinite Comics.
Yes, there is Crisis in Infinite Comics. What did I review this past week? I don't know. I reviewed comics. I'm going to review more next week because they always come out every week.
There is never a week where they don't.
Yet.
All right then.
Or I should say a week where I don't get any books because I'm not interested in what comes out that week.
That is true. That day may come at some point.
Sure.
Best Picture Blowout will be coming soon.
Yes, Best Picture Blowout. I'm actually about to. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it tonight because we kind of got up a late start to the show, but I've actually already seen 3.5 of the Best Picture nominees, which was way more progress than I made at this point last year. And they announced the nominees a few days early this year, giving us some more time too. The Academy Awards are going to be on February 24th, so I will be getting together with some of you guys. I don't have access to a decent recording program, so we may need to use your computer for that, Brian. But yeah, there's 9 movies this year that have been nominated. So I will be looking to con some people into watching these, and then we'll wax about them, and then we'll make some predictions.
Well, I mean, I've already seen Django, so I can certainly help with that.
I could also help with that.
Yeah.
It's just the program I used last time, like the file sizes were really, really big. So like a 15-minute recording was like 50 megs.
It's all good, man. We'll just figure out a good recording schedule, and I'll be sure to log on to get everything set up, and then get you guys recording, and whoever else, and whatever. It'll get worked out. Ain't a problem. Ain't nothing but a thing. All right then. Anything else anybody wants to plug? Sweet. All right. So until next week then, ladies and gentlemen, please hope you enjoy the podcast. Keep supporting us, and good night.
All right, have a good night.
No.
Bye.